Welcome back to Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast, a weekly show where we discuss the hottest stuff from the wonderful world of pop culture. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today in the studio, it's a regular voice. It's a returning voice. That's Troy Spinner.
Hey, I've been here for a while.
Yeah, but now, next week, we're going to have a new host.
I know, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, people are going to be thrown.
You're going to be freaking out. Remember that one time that we had Dennis on the show? It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Except probably better.
Much better.
maybe better. Dennis, we love you. If you're just joining us for the first time ever, welcome.
Welcome to Comic Confidential.
It is the pop. It's the. I'm calling it right now. It is the pop culture podcast.
Wow.
It's the only one.
The only one.
The only one that exists in the history of podcasts.
If you see any other podcasts about pop culture, they're just cheap imitations of us.
Cheap imitations, yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. So, what's been happening, my man?
Holy, last week was Comic-Con, Troy.
It was.
And what a bloody Comic-Con it was. Zero Marvel, which is not uncommon now because they kind of just go do their own thing. They got the Disney events now.
Yeah, pretty disappointing, though, that we didn't see, anything.
Yeah.
Like, no Captain Marvel, no nothing. I would have liked a teaser from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that would have been good. Or maybe a teaser of the title for Avengers 4.
Yeah, something.
Just something.
Because this is the biggest Comic-Con. You can't get bigger than San Diego Comic-Con.
Exactly.
So I don't know why they didn't.
Brazil has been releasing things.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Well.
But theirs is huge as well.
Theirs is huge too. But, again, they all pale in comparison to SDCC, my friend.
That's right.
So, anyway, it is what it is. We got some absolutely fantastic stuff, which we're going to have a bit of a chat about. Mostly we're going to stick to the trailers, I think, for this particular episode.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Die Hard later, which is very exciting.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, Troy, I've listened back to that episode because the Patreon members got some exclusive access to that quite early.
But how did you do that?
Magic, my friend.
Magic Mike.
And it was a very good episode. I enjoyed it. It made me, even listening to it, made me realize how much of a badass film Die Hard is.
Oh, it is. It's good. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But first, let's get into some Comic-Con, man.
First thing I want to talk about, Troy, is The Walking Dead.
Yeah, coming back.
Yeah. Now, have you seen this trailer?
Yeah, I have.
Now, will it get you back for the potential last season ever?
Oh, look, I'm as much as I have been hating the show, I'm too deep in now.
Yeah, and when it's this close to the end, you just got to go through with it.
It's so close. I mean, the seasons are only, 12, 13 episodes, something like that. Is it 13?
Yeah, they're pretty short episodes.
Or 13 or 16, maybe, something like that. So I'm too deep in. I'm too deep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish it off. As much as it does shit me to tears, I do hope that they make a turnaround. We know we're losing Rick this season.
Yep, he's gone.
We know we're losing Maggie this season.
She gone too.
So we will see what happens. But, as far as trailers go, not too bad.
Not too bad. I mean, it's as exciting as The Walking Dead can get. And unless you're a super diehard fan of the comics and the TV show, this trailer may not have excited you too much because unless you had a very keen ear, and I had to tell you to go back to listen to it.
Yeah.
We get reference to the Whisperers.
Yeah, which is cool. And if that's a thing that does actually happen and you're not just, I don't know, making shit up, then that's great.
Yeah.
But it's very, the trailer is very Rick heavy. And I wonder if they're kind of going to knock all that out in the first half and just get his 6 kind of episodes done. Or if they're going to do it it's a Rick episode, then it's a Daryl episode, then it's a Maggie episode, then it's back to a Rick episode, then and he'll still be in the entire season, but just spaced out over the course of many episodes.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's the way they do it.
Yeah,
because Rick is kind of one of those. He's a draw card for the show.
Yeah,
and with the news that he's leaving this season, they're going to try and drag his part out as long as they can.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt. I think his episodes will be more towards the back end of the show, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it all kind of culminates in him. Do you think they'll kill him?
I don't think they'll kill him.
I think he'll just fuck off?
Yeah, I think he'll just go and be a farmer.
Yeah, maybe. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
If he exits out of the show that way, maybe him and the baby, whatever the stupid baby's name is, and Michonne.
Yep.
Just go, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We're going to be farmers.
Because
we're going back to Herschel's farm.
Yeah, exactly. Gone full circle there.
Yeah.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why those two just can't go live on their own. They're very, very capable.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice ending, and I don't really sort of like, you know, I mean, what does Rick owe these people anymore?
Exactly.
He's given them everything.
He's basically set up a whole city for him.
Look how goddamn grey his beard is now.
Oh, it's the
He's
greyest.
been through some shit. He's stressed out. So yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. We know we're losing him. It'll be interesting to see how the seasons progress beyond that. I really think they need to wrap it up at 10 if that's the case. One more season, that's it.
And then just continue their story into Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead, or, you know, maybe they can, I don't know, spin it off
Another
some other way, or, you know, whatever they want
The Chronicles of Daryl.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to happen. You know it.
Look, I know they've paid they've paid him a shit ton of money to kind of take on the lead role, but I just don't see it, man.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Jesse Pinkman rock up into The Walking Dead. Because it's kind of like this AMC verse.
So you mean the actual Jesse Pinkman character? Yeah, okay. Well, maybe. Like, I mean...
And he's killing zombies like, you're dead, bitch.
I feel like that will be the day... As cool as it would be, I think that would be the day that The Walking Dead jumps the shark.
Absolutely.
And they're just like, they're literally out of ideas.
Yeah.
And Daryl gets on his motorbike and has to, like, jump over a zombie shark.
I like that.
Like, literally on the show. Let's move on. We also had another big trailer out of Comic-Con was Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah. Now, this trailer had the most interesting pick for music in a trailer I've seen in a long time.
Oh, look, I honestly wasn't paying attention. What's the music?
The music is like very orchestra.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like world-ending, though, isn't it?
Fantasy music.
Well, it is fantasy.
I'm talking like monsters. Elves and hobbits type of fantasy
Have
music.
you seen this movie yet?
I've seen the trailer.
Do you know that elves and hobbits don't show up at some point?
Hey, you know what? I could be corrected here.
Exactly. So, you know, don't knock it till you see it, mate.
Now, what are your thoughts on this trailer?
Not bad. Considering that up until about 5 minutes ago, I had never seen it. But it's not bad. Like for what it is. I mean, I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So the Earth is kind of dying, and they need to unleash these beasts to save the Earth. But then they just go, you know what? You unleashed us now. Tricks on you, bitch. We're gonna fuck this shit up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here because it almost seems like the narrative that they're trying to tell is that Earth is like covered in a plague of humans.
Yeah,
I get that, but
Thanos tried his best.
Yeah, Thanos tried his best, but you know there's still 50% on here, baby.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
3.5 billion people.
Yep. And what they say in this trailer is that these Titans are here to cleanse the Earth.
Yeah.
What I don't get, though, is this trailer plays it off like Godzilla's working with the humans.
Well, Godzilla is, like, you know, as we know, he is a good guy.
Potentially.
Potentially. Not so much in this movie. We don't know where it's going yet. But Godzilla, he's a good kid.
He's the one that stands up for the little guy.
He's all right. He's like,
pick on someone your own size.
Giant moth thing, you know? So I don't know how they're going to play it in this, but, you know, I think it's going to basically be, you know, kind of like, I don't know, is it going to be like Godzilla takes all these other monsters down and then he's like the king of the monsters, and then eventually Kong's going to come along and say, hey, dude, I'm also here. Let's fight.
Yeah.
And then they punch on and, I don't know, Kong wins because he's the good guy.
Kong is the good guy. Yeah. I mean, where is he in this world at the moment?
Yeah.
If they're finding these, like, 3-headed dragons frozen in ice, why aren't they finding, you know, 100-meter tall monkey on a bloody island?
Well, considering people have actually witnessed this monkey being alive, like
in a modern age,
a modern age, it was in the 70s or so, the 70s or 60s. It was 70s. One of the. I think it was the 70s. Yeah, but either way, they know he's there. So you know, like it's like, oh, hey, maybe we should go get that giant monkey and see if he can give us a hand. Because when I thought they meant cleanse the Earth, I thought they were just going to help us, like, you know, an emu parade, like pick up rubbish and stuff like that. I didn't realize they were going to try to wipe out, all of the population.
Yeah, it's
my bad, you guys.
And it's very odd because it almost looks like Mothra is a good guy in this too.
Does it?
Yeah, because I get the impression that we see the Kid 11 from Stranger Things in this trailer.
She has a real name.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to say it because I know I got it wrong. I got half of it in my brain, and the other half I don't know.
It's Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I got the Bobby part.
it's Bobby Brown's in this movie, you guys.
Yeah. And it looks like she's actually like patting Mothra.
No, I thought that was the turtle thing. Is there a giant turtle?
Oh, there is
Blastoise?
a giant. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Blastoise is the Pokemon.
So we've potentially got 4 monsters.
No, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Godzilla, there's Mothra, there's I can't remember their names, man. I just want to know if we get the giant robot thing.
Ooh.
Because that's a thing from the old Godzilla.
Yeah, it is.
I want to see if he punches on with a giant robot. It's probably not going to happen.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah. But that's fine. Look, it does look good. Coach Eric Taylor's in it. Ice Cube's kid's in it. The mum from the Psycho TV show's in it.
It's going to have a lot of destruction.
Yeah. So it's all happening. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens. Next on the list, though, this is where it gets big time, baby.
Oh, yeah.
This is where DC kind of like, we kind of knew we were getting an Aquaman trailer. And we got a goddamn Aquaman trailer.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Now, what do you think?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's pretty interesting to see the world that James Wan has gone and created because after the unique approach they went about Atlantis in Justice League, not many people were really impressed with it, especially with the air bubbles where you had to go into to talk.
Yeah, well, we didn't really see too much of Atlantis, but we saw enough.
Well, we saw a lot where it was like dark and dingy.
Yeah, but that's, forgive me for saying this word, but that's Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
isn't it? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of his vision of every single thing, like every single thing that lives, it has to be dark and it has to be gritty. And I don't know if they've necessarily lightened the mood so much in this movie, but I do appreciate the things that he's done. Like it's just literally just a bunch of people under the sea just having a chat. And I think it looks so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That imagine every time you had to have a conversation, you had to like magic up an air bubble.
Oh, that'll be terrible.
Just so you could speak. It'd just be everyone with a little magic air bubble around their head.
Yeah.
And they'd just be like walking around having a conversation.
It'll be like a whole bunch of black mantas.
Yeah. But it's like air bubbles, and like you can kind of talk to yourself, but no one else can hear you.
Oh, wouldn't that be insane?
So what you have to do is you have to get close enough so that
join the air bubbles.
the two bubbles join, and then it's like pop. And it becomes one big bubble, and you can have a chat, and then you just pull away, and off you go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And the more people, like, the more you have to get in and, like, get your heads close together to get the bubbles. But, yeah, it looks good, man. Orm looks great. Black Manta looks amazing.
Oh, man. What a scene stealer.
Scene stealer for sure.
I want to see this movie just for him.
Yeah. God, sea creatures. So many goddamn sea creatures.
So many sharks with freaking lasers on their head.
Finally. Yeah, there's a lot of really good shit to like. Not much to dislike. I mean, there is some, obviously unfinished CGI and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I don't know, I like it.
Yeah, and if you're going to be like that nitpicky about it, it's a movie based under the sea.
Yeah, it's basically The Little Mermaid on steroids.
Yeah, whenever you say under the sea, do you just
like have the under the sea?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You think Sebastian?
Immediately. Yeah. So that movie has ruined us forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think it looks good. We got a little bit of Dolph Lundgren in there. That's good.
Yeah,
just a little tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
A tiny little bit. Nicole Kidman's in it. Yeah, that's something.
Very funny, like exposition put straight into the trailer.
What's that?
Where we get basically there's a line of dialogue that says, your half brother, blah blah, is challenging you for the throne.
Yeah,
and they have to do that because they have to inform everyone else that this is a half brother. This is how the story's going to go. Whereas normal people just wouldn't talk like that.
Well, yeah,
it'll be, hey, dickhead over there is challenging you.
Well, that's how we would talk.
Yeah.
But we aren't royal Atlanteans.
True.
It's basically like
well, they wouldn't come and say, your mother, the queen.
Well, it's like the Dawson's Creek of Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Where like everybody talks much differently than the rest of us do. Way more adult and whatnots, you know?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So anyway, none of us are royalty. So yeah, we'd probably say, "Oi, fucking Orm, man, he's trying to fight you."
He's got that trident. Has he got the trident? No, we don't actually see the trident. We see like a 5-point trident.
Yeah, like variants of it and stuff like that. Yeah.
So from everything I've heard, like he's going to get the trident in this movie.
Yeah, sweet. Do we know where this is set? Is this a prequel to Justice League?
No, it's after.
After Justice League.
From what I've heard.
Good. Because I would hope that character would mature.
Yes.
From where we saw him in Justice League.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's good. But he kind of didn't he already know Mira in Justice League? Because he met her. Because he went to Atlantis. Do you know what I mean?
But it doesn't show that he doesn't know her in this trailer.
True. That's fair.
Because it's going to be a little bit of a backstory. Oh, of course, we even see it in the trailer.
Oh, yeah. He was a little boy in the aquarium.
Yeah.
Then hanging out on the beach, getting, tridents thrown at him and stuff. Cool.
Good little kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks good. Pumped?
Medium pumped.
Not fully pumped.
I'm fully pumped for Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Manta, yeah. Black Manta.
Yeah.
Medium for everything else.
Okay, cool. I would say I am somewhere between medium to full pump.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Going in with just a medium amount of expectations can only make this movie better.
True. All right, last one. The one that none of us expected.
The one that knocked it out of the park.
The one that, we kind of thought, we might get something.
Yeah, maybe. We might get a teaser.
We got a fucking full teaser. They're calling it a teaser still.
Is this a teaser? It goes for 2.5 minutes.
This is the official teaser trailer that basically shows you exactly how Billy Batson becomes Shazam. But of course, we're talking about Shazam.
Yeah.
Damn.
Shazam, indeed.
That's what it should be called. Yeah, man. Jesus. This is a major change in tone for DC.
Absolutely. And it fits perfectly with this character.
Yeah, 100%.
This is probably the most spot-on, comic accurate anything.
Ease up, mate.
Anything we've seen.
Ease up, mate. Take it easy.
Name something more comic accurate. Maybe Iron Man. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Even Captain America's not too bad.
Okay, he's okay too. This is equally as comic accurate as every other comic book movie.
Well, there's a lot to like, that's for sure. Any doubts I may have had about Zachary Levi?
Levi Jeans.
Is it Levi?
Yeah.
Like Levi Jeans?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
Okay. Zachary Levi. Yeah, gone. Completely gone. He fits the character perfectly.
He nails it.
Yeah. So, very, very keen to see this movie. Doesn't come out till early next year, I think. But holy shit, what we've got so far, man, looks good.
It does. It looks fantastic. I mean, they had to show this whole kid's, I guess, little origin story quite quickly.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you a good section of the general public don't know who Shazam is.
Oh, they've definitely got to show it. There's, absolutely no doubt in my mind this has to be an origin story because it's not a major DC character in the sense of, it's not your Supermans, it's not your Batmans, it's not your Wonder Womans, it's not that character that you can walk down the street and pick the everyman and go, hey, Shazam, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I get that microphone out of my face. So yeah, it has to show it. I hope though that because we've seen a lot of it now in the trailer, and I hope that is kind of just the first act.
Yeah, I think
maybe,
it is.
and then we get to actually get into some goodness.
I think we will.
But it might take up the first 2 acts.
No.
I don't know.
No. You know what?
First act could be just Billy Batson.
Yes.
Second act could be Billy Batson becoming Shazam and figuring out what his powers are. Third act, Shazam takes on the bad guy.
I reckon Shazam will be taking on the bad guy in the second act and getting his ass handed to him. And then the third act is him coming in and having the big battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Either way, it looks really good.
I've watched this trailer more than I've watched any other trailer in my life.
There's that one scene where, he's just walking through and he says Shazam and then it's bam.
Yeah.
Big thing of lightning, puff of smoke, and there he is. Pretty fucking brilliant.
You like that?
Are you serious? Don't tell me you didn't like that.
No, I think it's cool, but I think they're going to really polish that up in
maybe.
post.
It still looked good though.
Because I think we're going to get Flash type lightning.
Oh yeah,
coming around him.
Yeah.
He'll have electricity flowing over him.
Yeah,
kind of giving him a real sense of magic and power.
Yeah, maybe.
Because at the moment, it's just... I said this in our little Patreon bonus episode, but I said his suit still looks like it's not super fitting. Like, I think they're going to really tighten it up on him, and it still looks bulky. And I mean, they did this with Superman as well, so that's why I think they're going to do it with him.
Did they?
Yeah.
Like in post?
Yeah, and Batman too.
They fitted the suit a bit better?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They just...
Man, movies...
They get you, don't they?
They get you. It's not real, is it?
They're not really
it's
flying.
It's just not real life, is
They're
it?
not really talking underwater. I can't believe the lies these studios are putting out.
I still, for what you get for a teaser trailer, like I'm very impressed with what we see. It looks funny. There's a lot to like. Zachary Levi looks good. The kid who plays Billy Batson seems pretty good.
Yeah, it seems great.
I don't know what else you can really say, like unless Mark Strong's in it. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Best known for his role in Kingsman.
Yeah, probably.
And that's about it.
No, he's been in heaps, mate.
No one's going to remember the other stuff.
He was in Grimsby. He was in Grimsby with Sacha Baron Cohen. The world's greatest movie.
Yeah.
It's fucking shit. I was told that Grimsby was quite good.
It's not.
It's not. Don't go and watch Grimsby, you guys.
We thank you one and all and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A. But a team of terrorists...
You want money? What kind of terrorists are you? Who said we were terrorists?
...have their own holiday plans.
And I'm telling you, you're just going to have to kill me. Okay. We do it the hard way.
But the one thing they didn't plan on was New York cop John McClane.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
And you'll have it.
They have already killed one hostage.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Come to Papa, honey.
You really an American?
Only if New Jersey counts.
What does he think he's doing?
His job.
They're using artillery on us.
You idiot.
It's not the police. It's him.
He's an easy guy to like
Welcome to the party, pal.
and a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
For the first of our pop culture classic reviews, it only makes sense that we head back to 1988 and a little building called Nakatomi Plaza to review the Bruce Willis-led action classic Die Hard. The role that has endeared fans to Bruce Willis despite his behind-the-scenes antics, Die Hard holds a special place in the hearts of many a pop culture enthusiast, and for us, is also the best Christmas movie ever made. Fuck you, Bruce Willis.
I don't care what you say, Bruce Willis. This is a Christmas movie.
This is a goddamn Christmas movie.
I'm pretty sure it opens to like Christmas music, and the credit scenes music is a Christmas carol.
100%. There is so much Christmas in this movie that there are Christmas movies that have less Christmas in them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I was taking special note throughout this movie to see how Christmassy it was.
Yep.
It's Christmassy AF.
It's official.
It's official.
It's official, you guys. It's Christmassy AF.
They need that badge on the DVD cover.
They do.
Yeah.
Now, what is this movie about? For those... there is no non-spoiler review for Die Hard.
If you haven't seen this movie, sorry. It's, 30 years old?
It's 30 years old this year. Too bad, so sad. But
Yeah.
what is it about?
So, NYPD officer John McClane tries to save his wife and several others taken hostage by German terrorist Hans Gruber during a Christmas party at Nakatomi Plaza.
It's in there. Christmas Party is in the official synopsis. And it's his wife and several others. It's like there's a lot of
There's
people.
like 50 other people.
There's 50 other people. There's several terrorists.
This movie is so Christmassy, Troy. He writes ho 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 on a dead body.
Yeah. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho. Tell me that's not Christmas, Bruce. Obviously starring Bruce Willis as John McClane, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber in his first ever role.
Really?
This is his feature film debut.
Wow.
They found him doing theater.
Yes.
In the Britain
There you go.
in England. Bonnie Bedelia as Holly Gennaro / McLean, and the great man himself, Reginald Val Johnson, as Sergeant Al Powell. Released in 1988, as we said, and directed by John McTiernan with a runtime of 132 minutes.
Now, tell me, am I right? Did John McTiernan own the 80s for action movies?
Yeah.
Because he also did Predator, didn't he?
He did Predator. He also did The Hunt for Red October.
Yes.
He also did this. There wasn't the 80s. We've moved into the 90s, but this is 88, so we're already there basically. He also did The Last Action Hero, which is very polarizing.
Yeah.
And Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So he's kind of action go-to guy.
Yeah, definitely. Die Hard with a Vengeance is my personal second favorite of the Die Hard movies.
Oh,
yeah. Just as a just throwing it out there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, let's talk about, this is interesting. Let's talk about some 80s
80s money.
box office.
Have you include inflation in this?
No.
Okay.
It is, I have not adjusted for inflation. Had an opening weekend of $600,000. But
that's 20 million in today's money.
It's probably 20 million in today's money, but it also had a very limited opening release.
Well,
as
this is back in the time when a movie would do good. They probably released it in spots around America.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it would kind of creep throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can't wait. In 6 months, we're going to get Die Hard.
Well, imagine being, in Australia in 88 and of an age where you would be allowed to go and watch your Die Hard. And, basically having to wait 6 months before it even made its way here. And, you've heard about it in, magazines.
Yeah, because this is how I was going to say. How would they know about these movies?
Magazines.
Yeah. TV?
TV. You would have seen ads and stuff, maybe trailers. Was that a thing?
Yeah, surely.
TV movie trailers, you know what I mean? They had to put their movie trailers on TV because that's the only way people would see it.
Yeah,
surely
so.
That was it.
Yeah, had to be.
But eventually went on to make $83 million domestically. $2.3 million out of that came out of the Australian box office.
Wow.
That's pretty exciting for us.
Not much better than what it usually is now.
Correct. No, we get up into the 9s sometimes for big movies. But yeah, it's very close. And a worldwide total of $140.7 million on a budget of $28 million. $5 million of that going to Bruce Willis as his paycheck, which the time was an unprecedented amount.
Holy moly. What did Bruce Willis do before Die Hard to warrant that?
Moonlighting. Look, I honestly think, I want to talk about it a little bit more when we get... There's a section that I want to bring in for this type of the way we do this type of movie called alternate castings.
Oh, yeah.
Right, where, these are the people that could have been
okay,
John
cool.
McClane.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think there's a reason why they had to give him $5 million, but we'll get to that.
Fair enough.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, interesting here, Troy. This is a bit of a knockout. So Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 93% certified fresh.
Damn well should.
Absolutely. That deserves every percentage there. 94% for an audience score. IMDb, 8.2 out of 10.
Yeah, bit low. That's fine.
Yeah,
whatever. IMDb.
And Metacritic gives it 70, which is basically 100.
That's 1,000 for Metacritic. Talk to me. Do you remember the first time you saw Die Hard?
You know what? This is one of those movies that you've seen.
Yeah.
But you can't...
many times.
So many times, but you can't remember when you saw it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway, because I was 1 when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So for me, this movie was probably, I don't know, let's say at best, I would have been 10, so the movie would have been 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those distant memories that I can't quite put my finger on when I first saw this.
Yeah.
But I do know that I have more distinct memories of being on school holidays and seeing this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. For me, it would have been deep into the 90s as well by the time I finally got around to seeing it. I'd say probably not deep into it, but, kind of that early to mid 90s.
Yeah, right.
And it is just, I don't have... my memory is tainted from the 50 times I've seen it since then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And, it's so ingrained into popular culture that it becomes...
everything.
It's always been a part of your life.
Yeah.
Die Hard has always been there. And it's the movie that you'll forever remember Bruce Willis for, regardless of anything else that the guy has ever done. It will always come back to Die Hard because that's the impact it's kind of had.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's so like hard to pinpoint. But I remember, early on thinking this is the fucking greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with you. I used to go down to my local video store at the time.
Yep.
At the time, it would have been Video Easy.
Yeah, maybe.
Side note, I've been seeing Video Easy vending machines.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the only way they survive.
Yeah.
As a vending machine entity now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So how do you return a vending machine DVD? Do you ever return it, or do you just own it?
No, you have to return
house?
it. Well, you have to return it into the vending machine.
How's it ever going to follow you up?
Well, I mean, I think I've never done it, but
It's
I would
goodwill.
assume I'd assume that it's like take a DVD, leave a DVD sort of thing. But I think I think you've got to you put your credit card information in there.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not something you can pay cash for.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I think you have to have a credit card, and that would obviously be linked to you. However, if you stole a credit card, not giving you guys ideas, this is a cop movie.
Yeah.
All right? So I'm not trying to give you bad guys any ideas, but like if you stole a credit card and just went and just like jammed out a couple of DVDs, you could run off and keep
You'd be set.
for sure.
Running away with $20 worth of DVDs into the sunset.
$20 worth of DVDs, that's like 100 DVDs.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into some alternate casting?
Yes. This will be interesting.
Okay, I only have one for Hans Gruber. Okay.
I'm surprised they even looked at anyone else.
Yeah, well, apparently Sam Neill.
Oh.
You know Sam Neill.
Yeah.
We all know Sam Neill as Australians, even though he's New Zealand, but that's okay.
Best known for Jurassic Park.
Best known for Jurassic Park.
The Dish, a great Australian movie about a radio dish.
Oh, yeah, he was in The Dish. He was in Hunt for the Wilder People a couple of years ago.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you got to see that. It's
Yeah.
such a good movie. But yeah, no. Not like... Now, at the time, maybe... But Alan Rickman's portrayal of Hans Gruber is now so iconic that you can't possibly see anybody else in this role.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And especially not Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. That would have been
I think
terrible.
about 5 years before Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is so
that Jurassic
weird.
Park came out so early in the 90s?
That blows my mind. That fact is just like...
Yeah. And we're going to get... Because this movie is fucking 80s.
This movie is 80s as it gets.
There is like cocaine on the table.
You missed a bit.
Yeah, it's like there's mad cocaine, which is hella 80s. There's like
Mad hairstyles.
There's
Perms everywhere.
titties in it.
Oh, yeah. That was a requirement of 80s action movies or horror movies.
Unnecessary titties.
Yeah, unnecessary nudity.
Like there's no reason why we needed it. But there's even a point in this movie, and sorry, we'll get back to John McClane in a second. But there's even a point in this movie where John McClane is like walking through the building, and there's like a picture of a centerfold on the wall, and he touches it, and he's like, "Ladies," you know what I mean? Like that's how insane it was in the 80s.
Oh, and you also know it's an 80s movie because there's an absurdly large amount of people smoking.
Yeah, and it's like it's Argyle when he's in the limo, and it's like, and he's like, "Oh, just play some Christmas music." Or he's like, "This is Christmas music," and that real 80s kind of like Run DMC-ish type of Christmas hip hop special starts playing. I don't know what was happening, but yeah, for John McClane, reportedly, okay, these are only reportedly, so there are no heavy facts behind this. But here I'm going to throw some names out to you, massive stars. Okay, Sylvester Stallone.
Nah. Could you imagine that?
No.
That would be terrible.
Because he looks like an action star.
Yeah.
The whole reason why this works is because Bruce Willis just looks like a dude.
The whole thing that works with Bruce Willis is like he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Like the guy was scared of flying. You see it in the first 10 seconds of the film.
Yeah. Like he's just he's an NYPD cop. Like they got some problems, you know what I mean? Like they're like they'd be some of the hardest working cops, in America, sure, but
they're just normal guys.
He's just a normal dude with a receding hairline like all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Okay, that one might have worked.
Yeah.
He would have been too cranky, though.
Yeah. Get off my building. No, that's not.
Get off my goddamn building.
Yeah, that's almost Nick Cage. But Robert De Niro.
Too old.
No. Mel Gibson.
Maybe.
Only
if he had a mullet.
Yep. Now
I want him from... Oh, they could have combined this with Lethal Weapon as a...
maybe.
Ooh, that would have been pretty clever.
Well, I got something else for you. We'll get to that in a sec. But now we're getting into the big stars.
Okay.
The big stars.
Yeah, Mel was pretty big.
We've had Harrison Ford and we've had Burt Reynolds.
Oh, fuck off. No.
Richard Dean Anderson.
No.
From MacGyver. Yeah. Now, apparently, all turned down the role.
Really?
Yeah. So I think this is how it gets to a point where they're kind of like, holy fuck, we need someone for this movie. Bruce Willis is already working for 20th Century Fox for Moonlighting. Let's get him, a comedic actor, put him in this role, but we're going to have to, maybe we have to up the money to convince him to do it, because apparently no one wants to do this fucking movie.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Maybe that's how it went. Maybe it didn't. But the big thing that everyone should know, or probably knows about this movie, that Frank Sinatra actually had the rights to play John McClane.
Really?
Yeah, because he starred in the movie based on the book originally, or the sequel to the... I don't know what it was.
Okay.
But he had the rights to play, and he had to be offered the role first. And they offered him the role at 73 years old. And they had to do it. They were contractually obliged. And if he had have said yes, they would have had to have made Die Hard with 73-year-old Frank Sinatra. But luckily, he said no.
That would have been insane. What a crazy, loophole.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that could have been a different movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What? I've just thrown myself. Where was I? Yeah, but there was talk, there's an internet rumor that this was actually a sequel, like a pseudo sequel to, or it was set to be a pseudo sequel to Commando.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. But has since been refuted or debunked by the producer at the time, because it was actually set, it was initially going to be the sequel to Commando was going to be set in a building. So it was going to be very similar.
Yeah.
But because of the success of Die Hard, they didn't make it that way. But there's just that little kind of internet confusion kind of going on where people are thinking that this was supposed to be the sequel to Commando.
Man, you know what? I'm having this crazy universe building moment here, Troy.
Yeah.
Now, we got Die Hard, we got Predator, we got Predator 2, we got Commando, and let's throw in Lethal Weapon in there.
Yeah.
All of these things could live in the same universe.
Well, Predator 2 was set in LA.
Yes.
Just in the future. Or the past now. But that's fine.
Yeah.
However you want to do time travel.
And it had
Danny Glover
in it.
From Lethal Weapon.
Now imagine if Die Hard had Mel Gibson, but the character that he was in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
This could be a massive 80s universe.
And imagine Danny Glover's character in Predator 2, whose name I can't remember, was actually just Roger Murtaugh.
Yeah.
And it was set before they actually met.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why, Roger's getting to a point where he's like,
too old for this shit.
Retire. I just had to fight a fucking space monster.
Yeah. And now I'm on a fucking toilet.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting too old for this shit. But, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That could work.
That could really work.
Yeah.
And then Mel Gibson, he's like, I'm done. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
could happen.
I think we just made something beautiful here.
I think we did. The Die Hard shared universe.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I want to... Oh, you know what?
What?
I might make up an infographic for this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to find out the timelines and put them in. You know how those X-Men timelines that are really convoluted?
Yeah. But I don't know if the timelines would work because Predator 2 was set in the future.
How far in the future?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was pretty present.
Should I use my Google?
Yeah, use your one Google.
Okay, I'll use my Google to find out. I don't know if this will actually tell me. I don't know if it.
Why don't you just actually type the question in? When was Predator 2 set?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could
That's how Google works.
You mean you can just ask it stuff and then it'll tell you? That's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But that's amazing. If we can kind of figure out a way to make that happen, I think that was that's brilliant. It just tells me when it was made, mate.
Oh.
So, it doesn't tell me that it was like set in, but it's set in 1997.
It can work.
It can't work.
It could work if he's at the Predator afterwards.
No. Well, no, but that's like saying after the events of Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, Rog goes solo and fights a space monster.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, considering in Lethal Weapon 1, he's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for retirement.
Yeah, maybe he's like, you know what? Change is as good as a holiday.
Maybe. Anyway, we're gonna get back to Die Hard. Are you ready to talk about the actual movie? The good, the bad. What bad? The good, the bad, and the ugly truth, my friend.
Yeah, look, John McClane is the action hero that everyone should be.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he's just you. He's me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's he's got a little bit of police training, but it's not like he's a special forces cop or anything like that. He's just a guy.
11 years on the job.
Doesn't like flying.
Yeah.
And there's this, it's kind of integral to this whole story, that little flight scene.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of sitting next to this guy. This movie's set in the 80s because look at the size of those damn airplane chairs.
Yeah. Not only that, like I was watching something else the other day that was set in the 80s, and there was a dude smoking in a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, is that the world we lived in?
What a different time.
Damn. But yeah, no, you're right. And it is integral because the guy says, hey, you want to like get over your flying fatigue or whatever. It's not a hot shower. It's not coffee. Just take your shoes off.
And make little fists with your toes.
Make little fists with your toes in the carpet. And he goes and he does that when he gets to Nakatomi Plaza, and that's why he doesn't have shoes on, baby.
Yeah, very clever.
And I think it is clever that they kept him like that. Like, that's how out of his depth, John McClane is in this movie. Yeah.
Can I just say, he looks very quick.
How do you mean?
Like, he runs very quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like he's not an old man.
No, but he's like a speedy dude. And it's kind of like, back in the day, this might have been maybe not so relevant for like the younger listeners, but older listeners, like you could go to school with almost no shoes on. And you used to be able.
What did you go to?
Man, I went to a crazy school.
Yeah.
And like they used to let you on school days, you could run without your shoes on because you could always run faster with no shoes on.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a different time.
What a different time. You couldn't do that today. You get fucking hepatitis A, B, and C.
Yeah,
by the time you reach the 10-meter mark.
Yeah, take 3 steps. You got all 3 heps.
You're done.
Yeah.
And that's all I could think of was like when I would see him like shoot and speed off is like my old high school. Not high school, but primary school sports carnivals where you had like 100 kids running around fields with no shoes on.
Yeah. That's fair. Now, what was the point of that? That's
very weird
life,
that
baby.
That the bathroom where he was in was carpeted.
No, he was in like a studio apartment.
Was it an apartment? Because I thought he was in a bathroom.
Oh, maybe he was in a bathroom. Because I thought he was sitting on the side of a bed.
See, I thought he was sitting on a toilet because there was a wash basin behind him.
Oh.
And I was like, why is that bathroom carpeted?
Man, I did not pay enough attention to that.
Yeah.
I've never really. I just always assumed that there was like hotel like units within Nakatomi Plaza, which when you think about it doesn't really make much sense.
No.
Because it's a business building.
That's right.
What the hell am I thinking?
So yeah, if you like ever go back, watch it and I'm sure he's sitting on like a closed toilet lid.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out. But that would be weird then if the floor was carpeted.
It was the 80s, Troy.
Okay, that's fair. Just another little bit of trivia. Die Hard is based off a novel, right?
Okay.
I don't know when it came out, but it's called Nothing Lasts Forever. It was originally supposed to be set over 3 days.
Okay.
But John McTiernan was the one that kind of fought it. And I think he said, I think I read that he was inspired by Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, and he wanted it just to be set in the one night. Like, all the madness had to happen in one night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been dragged out, and it wouldn't have been as impactful.
Yeah.
Which I think is a smart move.
Absolutely, because this movie is balls to the wall from basically the get-go.
Yep, pretty much. And it kind of, it's like from the moment he gets off the plane and gets in Nakatomi Plaza, it basically kicks off. And
Absolutely.
It doesn't stop until the end of the movie.
And what I like about this movie is you see it in today's movies more often where the exposition is extremely obvious.
Yeah.
In this movie, he's kind of brought to Nakatomi Plaza. He meets the big boss. He meets the cocaine jerk.
Yeah.
And we meet his wife.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cocaine jerk he's got to be the most 80s guy that you've ever seen.
Man. Oh, he is. Like, he is genuinely terrible.
Yeah. Cocaine jerk. Went on to have a pretty hefty career. He's got some, like, not necessarily massive movies, but he's had a long carear. That guy's worked consistently. I checked out his IMDb. I'm like, who the fuck was Cocaine Jerk from Die Hard? I went through and had a look. He's had some consistent work. I think he was on NCIS recently. Or in the last few years, you know what I mean? So good on him.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same kind of like trajectory as a Bruce Willis, but hey, you were cocaine jerk
Is it?
in Die Hard. Like, you could stop there. You could stop your acting and you could just go, hey, 30 years ago I was cocaine jerk.
Deal with that.
I just wish they had he had a name. I think his name was Harry or something.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
I wish they just had in the credits listed him as cocaine jerk
That would have been
number
great.
one.
Yeah.
But they didn't. That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of the I guess the story as a whole of them going in to get the barabons?
Well,
I still don't know what a barabond is.
neither do I. Never in my life.
Can you use my Google to search what a barabond is? Because I should have done this.
It's a barabond, isn't it?
A barabond?
Yeah. Isn't it?
I don't, just Google it. We'll find out.
I don't even know what to Google, but yeah.
Because it looks like it's... Maybe this was like a pre-digital stock market age.
Yeah.
But I feel like the stock market would have been digital at this point.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
So a bearer bond is a bond or debt security issued by a business entity such as a corporation or a government. That doesn't really tell me anything. I don't know what that means.
How's it hold its value?
Couldn't tell you. No records are kept of the owner or the transactions involving ownership, so that's good.
Okay.
So they're completely
They're
untraceable.
anonymous.
Yeah.
It's the original Bitcoin.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's like the paper Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's retro currency.
Hmm.
But I don't really know what that means still. Maybe we've got some financial whizzes out there that can let us know the point of a bearer bond and how do they maintain their value and how do you buy things with
Yeah, how
them?
do you cash in a bearer bond?
Yeah. Like, if I wanted to go to Macca's, could I just hand over a sheet of paper and
You have
they'd
to tear off a
accept
little
it?
bit.
Yeah, but would they accept it? Would they have to accept it as like currency?
I'm sure they wouldn't because you couldn't go into Macca's and pay with a bar of gold.
Couldn't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you couldn't.
Isn't that currency?
No, because it's not tender, and that's the difference.
Well, maybe it is tender.
It's not.
How many bars of gold have you felt?
No.
Anyway, getting back into it. But yeah, so look, I really like the idea. I just wish that they had have just made them like random ethnic groups rather than trying to make them all a group of West German
Europeans. And
well, no, they were all supposed to be like West German.
Oh,
like,
really?
They were like not militant so much, but they were like this kind of weird political faction or something like that. And we find out a little bit later in Die Hard with a Vengeance. We find out a bit more about that when we see Simon Gruber, whatever.
Yeah.
Hans Gruber's brother.
Ah.
But anyway, because they were all like, none of the people there, I think they were like out of the 12 terrorists, they could only manage to find a couple, like 2 or 3 actual German people, and the rest were all kind of like, they were Russian or other European or, American or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And they only really got them because they were all physically intimidating.
Ah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? So don't bother trying to make them and then have them speaking this ridiculous German, which isn't really German. And then, some of the German in there is right, but apparently all of Hans Gruber's German is just a bunch of gibberish.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
There you go.
Yeah. And you can tell. And I think I know it's cool that they're all speaking another language, and you know, maybe that's good because John McClane can't understand what they're sort of saying, but I don't think it's integral to the story.
No, not at all.
So just
I didn't even know it was German.
Yeah, well, they mention it.
It's just
several times. Friend.
Well, whatever. But to me, it's just another language. Yeah. Whatever.
Cool. I just think it could have been just a mixed, just a ragtag group of, you know,
the Expendables.
The Expendables, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, what this movie does well is it builds the tension.
Yeah.
I had sweaty hands all the way through this movie. I was like, whoo, and I know what happens.
Yeah.
My wife was the same. She is like, a die-hard Bruce Willis fan.
Yeah, right, okay.
And
from what specifically?
Just in general.
Okay.
She like really enjoys his movies. And I didn't want to say, he's like a dickhead in real life.
Yeah. Don't
I didn't spoil the illusion for her.
her.
So yeah, she watched this movie. I was like, look, we have to watch this movie for the podcast. It's an old movie because she hates old movies.
Yeah.
If a movie is past 3 years old, no,
not interested.
Not interested.
Yeah.
But I said, this is a Bruce Willis movie. Hell yeah, put that shit on.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
So she was more into it than I was.
Damn.
Yeah, she loved it.
So she had never seen Die Hard before?
Oh no, she saw it.
Oh, okay.
She actually told me everything that happened in this movie before I put it on.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have got her on the podcast.
Man, I was impressed. I was like, holy moly. Because it's been a little while since I've seen the movie. You know, you kind of see here little bits of it here and there.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's probably been a good 10 years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Put it on. And she's like, this is the movie where this happens, and at the end, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, does it? And she goes, haven't you seen this? I was like, yeah, I've seen it. It's like, how do you not remember any of this? This is like famous.
Wow.
I was like, damn, I'm getting schooled.
Yeah. That's great.
I got schooled big time.
Damn. Yeah, but look, it does build the tension well, and it I guess better than building the tension, it maintains it well throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
and you just you never know sort of like what's coming next, or you know, I mean, obviously if you've seen it, but you know what I mean. It's still, even after knowing what happens, you still you're always there with John McClane. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah, buddy, come on now, you can do this. Like, it's a one-man army against a
genuine underdog.
Yeah, this is the underdog story without a dog. You know what I mean? And there's no basketball. There's very limited basketball in this movie.
There's a little bit of basketball.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
when they're like walking in.
Yeah, there.
So if I ever hear two motherfuckers talking about basketball walking up to me, I'm like, you're going to shoot me.
Yeah. And then you just run.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I don't need this job. I'm out.
I find it a bit odd how the whole building is empty.
Apart from
level 30.
Yeah. Well,
is it? I guess it's not that unbelievable. Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. It's, it's 5:40, she mentions at one point. Like, it's 5:40, go home, or, whatever. So you could imagine that on Christmas Eve, Nakatomi Plaza would be pretty well empty, right?
Right.
Except for the guys that are celebrating whatever big thing that they just did.
True.
Yeah.
There was a funny line kind of said very early on where they had to introduce John McClane's wife after he's met, like, the boss, cocaine dickhead.
Yeah.
The boss says, oh, yeah, she's off faxing some documents.
Yeah.
It's like, after 6 o'clock?
Yeah, after 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
You don't need to fax those documents.
Nah, she's off doing cocaine.
She's the cocaine jerk number one.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's doing coke. She's definitely doing coke.
Definitely.
But yeah, like, I think, like, God, where do you begin? Or get to? Like, how do you know what I mean? So there's just so much that you can cover off this movie. Let's talk about Alan Rickman.
Okay.
Let's talk about his Hans Gruber. Because there's a lot to like.
Yeah, there is. He's an incredibly threatening character.
Yeah.
Without having to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like he's pretty much just a kind of guy as well. He's just pretty clever. And he has the ability to get 11 other pretty huge dudes to like do all his bidding. But yeah, there's apparently Alan Rickman was like, if you watch the movie and you pay close attention, right, you'll notice that every time he goes to like shoot someone, they'll kind of like hard cut away from it.
Yes.
Because he kept flinching every time he was pulling the trigger.
Oh, really?
Because he was kind of like, like one of the things that they did is they had to really amplify the sound.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make it really loud. So the blanks that they had were extra loud blanks and stuff like that. And Alan Rickman couldn't stop from flinching. So John McTiernan had to hard cut away every time he shot someone.
I did notice that.
The only time he doesn't is when he shoots what's his name? Nakatomi. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
Is that his actual name? Yeah. Is when he shoots him and you actually see him flinch.
Yeah, right.
As well. Like his eyes close and stuff. Yeah. So they were having some problems with that.
Yeah, okay.
And John McTiernan kind of had to direct around it. Because it wasn't something like, this is not something that Alan Rickman would have had experience with either.
Yeah, of course.
And like your first movie is going to be the one where they're like, you know what, like blanks are pretty loud, but we're going to go extra fucking loud because we want this to be the loudest friggin' movie that you've ever seen.
That's ridiculous. They could just do that in post, though.
Well, could they in 1988?
I'm sure they could.
Who knows? But, this is famously the movie that caused Bruce Willis to suffer hearing loss because of the same
did
thing.
he really?
So, yeah.
I did not know that.
You know the scene where he's like under the table and he shoots up under the table to the guy that's like standing on the tables, like trying to shoot him in the boardroom bit?
Yep.
That scene there, apparently, he suffered some permanent hearing loss because of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he was in such like a contained
area
sort of space. Yeah. Firing these blanks like,
no wonder
30 centimeters away from his face.
Yeah, no wonder he's so angry.
Yeah, it's probably he just can't hear.
Yeah.
He's just like, but
he's just surrounded by ignorant pricks.
Yeah, but let's go back to Alan Rickman because Hans Gruber, I think we rated him as in our top 5 movie villains.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't remember if he was number 1 or number 2.
He was pretty high up there,
but he was there. How high was he? He was about
40
floors, 40 floors high that he fell. But man, what a performance for your first thing out the back to 30 years later still be such an iconic part.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Pop culture history.
I can't believe that was his first ever major performance, which is fantastic. I do have one thing though that I did not like about his performance.
Was it his American accent?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
rough.
That was so rough. And then,
oh my God,
it was very Nick Cagey.
Yeah. Don't shoot me.
But then
you're one of them, aren't you?
Wow.
Yeah,
that wasn't an audio cut. That was actually Troy doing it.
It was rough.
Yeah, it was so rough. But then in the very next scene, he's back talking with his English accent.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis is like, oh, that accent was pretty good. It's like, that was terrible, man. He forgot to do it.
Apparently,
reshoot the scene.
Well,
dub it.
No, so another little fact. I'm full of facts about this movie. John McTiernan hated it. He was very they shot that about 3 times because he wanted to he wanted Alan Rickman to get it right. That's the best of the 3 takes.
You're joking.
And he wanted to just have Alan Rickman speaking English, in an English accent, because it doesn't matter that he's there as an English person.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he can't be there. But the producers or whatever, said, no, he's got to be American, blah, blah, blah. So he basically had to make that happen. And yeah, that was the best of the takes.
Oh, so rough.
Yeah.
So rough.
Yeah.
And then completely forgetting it in the next scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Is like,
and that was part of it as well, because he could tell that Alan Rickman was coming in and out of his accent.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's just producers didn't care. That's the scene that they wanted. So,
damn.
Yeah, they got it.
That's rough. That's so rough.
It's almost like, you expect him to say, I don't know. I mean, or maybe he did. Did he mention a cheeseburger? But it's so, it's like someone who
so
has just learned, howdy, partner.
Yeah.
I'd sure like a cheeseburger.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But fantastic performance otherwise. But yeah, that's a definite standout. I could have done that a bit better.
Definitely. Now, I have a very distinct memory that was proved quite different in this movie.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman's death scene, Han Gruber's death scene.
Yeah.
Falling out the building.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they buggered up the special effects of him falling.
Yeah.
And his arms and legs got very long.
No.
No?
No.
I might be confusing that for a RoboCop death scene.
Maybe.
Because there's two bad guys.
Yeah.
Both have a very similar death scene.
Yeah.
I think it's the RoboCop one I'm thinking of.
This is famously the scene where the kind of the harness that's holding Hans Gruber up, or sorry, Alan Rickman up, lets go before it was supposed to.
Yes.
And he's kind
It's
of the
a
shock
real
that you
shock.
see on his face is real. Because he actually falls a fair way. It's just the magic of movies, baby.
That's it.
But he actually falls a fair way. So what you're seeing is him actually falling, and then they just get the background behind it is
CG'd out.
is green screened or whatever. So yeah, so I don't think it's that, because I don't remember it looking weird.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking of RoboCop then.
Or something
Yeah.
else, definitely. Yeah, no, but this was there's a couple of things that happened where, like, I think they did that on purpose though. I think they purposely did that one to get that sort of reaction out of him. But there's another scene where Bruce Willis is in the elevator shaft and he's like letting himself down on his machine gun's cord, sort of thing, which gets very fucking long, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
But anyway, he when he jumps and he misses and he falls down, that's actually a mistake from the stuntman.
Oh, is it
that
really?
They kept in. He was supposed to grab that first vent, but the stuntman missed it, and then he fell, and then they kept it in there. And then they just cut it in with Bruce Willis catching the vent.
Cool.
In a second take.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so it just looked like he fell much further than he actually did.
Side note, I got the sweatiest hands in that elevator. Not elevator, sorry.
Oh, in the
duct.
The ducts.
That's so small.
Oh my god.
Oh, even now my hands are getting sweaty.
No, thank you, sir.
Yeah, not for me.
But yeah, such a good movie. Like so well directed. Like just the action is non-stop. The performances are great. There's so much good you can say about this movie. Like, we could dead set talk about this forever.
We could.
Right, but we can't. So, any bad?
Yeah. One bad thing
Yeah.
is all the cops are dickheads.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of those tropes where
Even the communications lady is like...
nah,
Yeah.
this is a private line. Get off it. It's like, how's he going to know it's a private line? Unless he's a cop.
But not only that, like, he is speaking very well. Like, he is saying, like, things that a normal person wouldn't be able to get on the line and probably say. Like, he obviously sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And at some point, I think you've probably got to go, we're going to take this seriously.
Yeah.
Or at least, and she does in the end. She's like, oh, let's see if we've got a black and white out there that can go and, have a look. But it's like, no. You know what I mean? You got to take that a little bit more seriously because he obviously sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I find that's one of those things where they kind of don't believe the cops or they don't believe the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like just a kind of a classic movie trope where they have to build that suspense and they didn't need to do it.
But it was annoying it was to a fault in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
All the cops that came, except for Sergeant Powell, were all like, oh, no, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, he's obviously one of the bad guys. And even like when the SWAT guys go in and the police chief or whatever is there saying, oh, no, get him back. And the guy's like, no, we're going in, like the SWAT captain. And it's like, you're overriding him now and like no one's just listening to each other.
Yeah.
And is this how things actually work?
And then it kind of goes up a level with the FBI.
Then the FBI come in. 2 FBI guys come in. And then it's like...
The dickhead level went through
Johnson
the roof.
and Johnson.
Yeah.
Not related. No relation. But you know what I mean? So they... Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that's a pun? Like, because they're acting like dicks, they're called Johnson?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
I honestly think it is because there's like a couple of really cheesy moments. That was one. The cops being dickheads were one.
Yeah.
Like, basically all the coppers being dickheads, apart from, what's his name from Family Ties?
Reginald Val Johnson.
Yeah.
Sergeant Al Powell.
Yeah. Let's go.
Al Powell.
Al Powell.
Like, you didn't think at some point when you were making this that Al Powell mightn't be the best name.
Maybe it's supposed to be Al Powell. Like, he's Al Powell.
Al Powell.
Yeah.
Al Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's hard to even say.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
his scene right at the end of the movie, a movie that is just so amazing with amazing action, amazing storytelling, is then put into the cheese factor.
Yeah.
Like 120%.
Yeah.
Oh, how's that bad guy get all the way down that building carrying a submachine gun and then just yelling like he's, I don't know, in an 80s action movie?
Yeah, that's the only way it happens.
And not get put down straight away.
Yeah. Because it had to be, that was Sergeant Al Pal's redemption story, my friend. He killed a kid.
Yeah.
All right, he shot a kid.
He killed a kid who was holding a fake gun.
Yeah. He couldn't see it.
If he came to the 2000s, man, that happens every day.
He was 13. He was 13.
Could have been, who knows? He could have had a real gun in his other hand.
Anyway. Is that it? Is that it for you?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's just a couple of little cheesy factors. Dickhead cops.
Very, very close to a perfect movie, but there are some factors that, kind of do bring it down a bit. And I definitely agree with you with that. We already spoke about Hans Gruber's fucking terrible American accent, which, it is what it is.
Yeah. That studio interference gone wrong.
So it would be okay if Bruce Willis still caught him out, right? But never mentioned that his accent was so good. That's the part that makes it worse, is that when, Bruce Willis has to straight face say, what a convincing accent you just put on there, sir. You know what I mean?
Oh, if you could see my face, I'm like dying.
Yeah.
From that single line said in this movie.
Yeah. So what's the ugly truth, Cade?
Ugly truth? This movie is probably one of the best action movies you're ever going to see, and it is
fucking oath it is.
It's still one of the best action movies today. I watched this just this week.
Yeah.
Last night, if I'm going to be honest. And god damn it, does this movie hold up. If you could look past those little cheesy tropes.
Yeah.
And there's not many.
And I think they're just 80s tropes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
This movie is one of the best action movies you'll ever see, let alone one of the best movies you'll ever see.
Yeah, for a movie that, you can sit here 30 years later and go, I just watched this yesterday and it was as good as the first time I saw it. It is rare that you will find a movie that you can do that. And this sits as one of my all-time favorite movies. I would dead set say that Die Hard, and maybe this is a list for some time in the future, but Die Hard sits within my top 5 quite comfortably.
Yeah, definitely.
All-time favorite movies.
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't be far off many other people's lists either.
Yeah, look, it's well-loved. We know that. It's why we decided, we wanted to do it as the first movie, in our kind of, we've only really done recent movies. And we said we were going to go back and we're going to do some old pop culture favorites, and this had to be the first one.
Definitely.
And look, honestly, I could talk about this movie forever, but we've got to limit it to a certain amount of time. Otherwise, it's going to be crazy. But that's it. It's a rate.
It's a rate. This is probably one of the highest rates you'll get from the CC boys.
Yeah, 100%. So that is it. God damn it. This is Die Hard, baby.
Let us know what you thought. Is it a hit, split, or shit? And do you think it still holds up today? And that's going to do it for another episode. Stay tuned for next week's show, where me and not Troy, another friend of the show, Garrett, we review the Death of Superman animated feature.
Yeah, which I have not seen yet.
It's very good.
I'm going to try to squeeze that into my busy schedule so I can listen along.
Oh, well,
yes.
It's not a commentary, but, you can listen afterwards.
You know what I mean. Listen along to your guys' thoughts on it or something. Anyway, that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening. I won't be here next week, but I'll be back sometime soon.
Yep.
Not sure when. Soonish. But in the meantime, you can still interact with me and this guy on social media. And where is that, my friend?
That is on Facebook. And the place you really want to look, we have a Facebook page. That's cool.
It's there.
You can like that.
There's some stuff on there sometimes.
But the place you really want to be is our listener community. You can find the link for that in our show notes. But in case you don't want to do it that way, just simply search Comic Confidential Listener Community on Facebook and join in on all the fun.
Do it. We also have an Instagram and Twitter that is at ComicConPod. You can check us out there. We also have a website.
And we have a website that is ComicConPod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything in between.
And you can also find links or tabs or something to the 3 other shows on the CC Radio Network. That's the Countdown Movie and TV podcast. You got Potterheads, which is out now. It's
out
happening.
now.
New episodes and new episodes of So Here's the Idea with Shad Wicker every week as well. So get into that. Do it.
Do it.
Do it, you guys. We have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/ComicConPod.
Yep.
And you can support the show for as little as $1 a week.
And you know what, Troy? If you don't want to support us that way, that's cool. Maybe give us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's a very nice way of supporting the show. You want to know why?
Why?
Every single one of those helps.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People see that and they go, you know what? These boys,
They
got
must
some
be
reviews.
legit.
They must be legit.
Must be legit. Yeah, and if you don't want to do that, just keep
fine.
listening.
Just keep listening.
Just keep
Maybe
listening,
share it with
baby.
a friend.
Yeah. Tell your mum.
Maybe not her.
No, tell her.
Maybe share it with that guy in accounting.
Tell her. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bye.
Threw you there, didn't I?
Yeah, no. I was like thinking, wait, did we sign off and you've gone into the after, like the after show bit already? And I'm like, oh, no, wait, I haven't said anything. Anyway.
Can't believe you didn't even mention that in the...
Oh, yeah. Hey, here's an after credits trivia for you. That was a throwaway line.
Was it really?
It was a line that Bruce Willis is 100% credited for, and he was just trying to crack up the crew. He never thought for a second it'd be able to stay in the movie, but they kept it, and it's now iconic, and it's been used in every single Die Hard since.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Hope
there
he
you go.
trademarked it.
You would hope so, but I don't think so.
No.
But anyway. Oh my God, you're one of them. Please don't shoot me.
Oh, what a low point in your career.
Fuck me, Hans.
If you love this podcast, then head over to comicconpod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
Whether you love comedy, pop culture, or movie and TV reviews, CC Radio has got you covered.